What's up, everybody? This is Byron back again. I'm here this time, going to do like a little step-by-step guide to how to get started wholesaling real estate. Some people hit me up, it's like, hey, how do I get started? Just want to make a little video about, how I think you should go about getting started. I know I was new and wanted to know like step by step. So I'm gonna lay it out step by step, and then I'm gonna put in the description below. I've written out what I would do step by step to get started in real estate. So it's kind of like I'm gonna talk about it, then it's gonna be like a step by step guide. Then you can hit me up on IG, REI, next door, or just comment below, and I'll respond to you. I'll get back with you, try to help you out however I can. But anyways, let's get started. So the first thing I would do is educate myself. So find somebody on YouTube, maybe me, and maybe somebody else, but find somebody that you can relate to, that you can, listen to and understand. Because that was one of my biggest things. I listen to a lot of people, but that don't mean I'm understanding everybody. Like everybody don't speak my language. So find that person that speak your language and connect with them. Second thing you want to do is find your target area. What area you gonna look in? Like I live near Atlanta, but I can't look in Atlanta because it's so competitive, so I start looking outside of the city. That's one thing you may want to do is look outside of the city. Kind of stay within those populations that's kind of like 100,000 people in a county to 200,000 people in the county. Those are usually kind of the sweet spots. It just depends on kind of the area. The third thing I would do is pick a strategy. So either I'm gonna be, hey, look, I'm gonna cold call these people that I find. I'm gonna use bandit signs. I'm gonna send text messages, or I'm gonna send out mailers to the people that I find. Those are all strategies you could use. So kind of know what you're gonna do once you get these properties. So fourth thing I would do is actually go get the properties. So that could be driving for dollars, which you probably find the best stuff that way because you're driving around seeing stuff that other people can't see if they're sitting at a computer. Absentee owners, you can get that off the computer. Tax delinquent, tax liens, probates. Tax liens and tax delinquents is people just ain't paid their taxes on stuff or their property or any other stuff. And then probates is like when somebody gets a property from somebody in their family or somebody that died and just handed it down to somebody else. That's probates. You can pay for those. And in some states, there's ways to get those online. I'll probably make a video later about how to get them. I know in Georgia, there's certain counties you can get them online for the free. So I'll post a video about that as well. Create a list. Whether that's driving around and writing them down, driving around when you're driving for dollars, writing addresses down, or using PropStream.com to create a list, LeadSource.com, or any similar kind of site like that. And when you create that list on PropStream and LeadSource, you want to kind of stack that list. Stacking just means that, hey, you may not just look for absentee owners, but you may look for absentee with high equity, with a tax lien. So that's stacking motivations. Like they're motivated. They may be motivated because they're absentee. They may be motivated because they're tax delinquent, right? You stacking motivations. So, list stacking is something that's big and people use that term. Sometimes people don't know what that means, but that's all that means. So I can make a video about that too if you need me to. I'll put that below. But once you create a list, then you want to skip trace that list. You may skip trace manually if you really ain't got the money to be putting these addresses through these websites that make you pay. You can do it manually at fastpeoplesearch.com or truepeoplesearch.com, or sometimes you can just put the person's name and address into Google, and then Google will search a bunch of sites, and then you'll see some of their numbers pop up, and you can just try them and see what happens. Sometimes good, sometimes it's bad. The most effective way, obviously, is to pay. You use stuff like Lead Sherpa. I know Lead Sherpa do 15 cent a skip trace, and then SkipVolt do like 20 cent a skip trace. But I know Flipman used to have a promotional code where he can give you a discount that gives you 15 15 cents a skip. I know there's other sites that do it too, though. So just look out there and see what works for you. And then after you skip trace them, I would go before I call or mail or text people. I would create a script. Like, what are you going to say to these people when you call them? What are you going to say to these people when you text them? What are you going to say to these people through mail, right? So find a script that's going to be effective. That goes back to your education, like who you following. Most of all those people got a script. Some of those people try to charge you for a script. I mean, you could pay for it, but there's a lot of people out there with free scripts. So I know Brent Daniels Wholesaling Inc. They do a good job. They got free scripts out there. And then if you just go listen to some people that's making these calls and just listen to how they're talking to sellers, you can create your own script. And I can put my script below too. So exactly what we tell people when we calling people or tell people when we're texting people. So I could put a script below too. So yeah. And then next thing I would do is take action, right? Once you got them, you found the property, you created your list, you skip traced the property, you got a script, you know what you're going to say to the people, then that's just taking action after that. Start cold calling people, start sending out your mailers, start texting people, whatever you're going to do. The next thing you're going to need to do is when they respond, you need to know what to offer them, like what price you're going to offer them. The easiest way that I can tell you to do it is, hey, look, go on, you can use Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com and find the properties that's been sold in that area. And once you find the property that's been sold in that the properties that's been sold in that area, find a similar property that got kind of the same number of bedrooms, same number of bathrooms, same square footage, and they kind of just look alike. Like, dang, this property look a lot like that property, and that one sold for this amount. That would be your ARV. But especially if you find a property, you look at the pictures, it's been fixed up and sold recently, then that's the ARV. And a lot of times, if you could take 60% of that ARV or 55% of that ARV, and that's the number you kind of want to go with. Stay in between 55 and 60, and then you could turn around and sell it for like 65 to 68% of the ARV, right? So that's kind of what I did when I first got started, and kind of sometimes what I do now. But I also use PropScreen. PropScreen will let you see the properties that's been sold in that area, but it also lets you see the cash purchases from that area. And I look at those cash purchases and I'm thinking, hey, look, those people who's buying the cash must have been investors, right? Especially, if it's at a deep discount. So I kind of offer, probably 10 below what a similar property sold for. So if a similar property sold to an investor for 80, I may offer 70, knowing that the seller gonna probably want to come up, right? They may want to come up to 75, or they want to come up to 80. Then I got to go find a buyer that's going to buy it, for 90 or something like that. So, yeah, just that's kind of how I do that. And then you want to learn how to write a contract after you take action, after you talk to these people, after you make them an offer. If they accept the offer, then you want to be able to send them a contract. So how do you send a contract? First, you need to find a contract. Go back to the people who educated you and see if they got a contract. Flipman, I know when I was following him, he had a contract. So there's a lot of people that have contracts. You can just Google Flipman contract, Max Maxwell contract, and it'll pop up. And then, go on YouTube and search them up, how to fill out a contract. And they'll have it on there. You could, on how to fill it out. And then just figure out how to fill out a contract. You need to probably do this even before you actually get somebody on the contract. Go ahead and know how to fill out a contract. And those contracts are for buyers and sellers. And then also start looking for buyers in your area. Go on Facebook, join the Facebook groups for your area, and then start looking at who's commenting on these things. Start clicking on their click on their profile and look to see if they like posting, oh, I just did a flip, or oh, look at this property I just finished, whatever. Those are the people that's really doing it. Those are the people that's really, selling properties. You'll see a lot of wholesalers on those Facebook groups. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are scheme and scam you, and some of them are straight up. So, you just have to be careful. Bigger Pockets is another place where you can go and find good buyers. Those are straight up investors. Go talk to people on there and try to network. And sometimes you can post your property on there if you get in a contract. I posted one of my properties on there and got it sold to somebody from Bigger Pockets. So that's definitely a place to go. And the last thing I would do on this step-by-step guide to getting started is I would find a closing attorney. A lot of times you can do this by talking to other wholesalers that may be in your area. Say, hey, look, man, who you close with? Just hit them up and be like, hey, who do you close with? I want to use them. A lot of these people would be happy to tell you who they close with because they want to send that closing attorney more business so that closing attorney can feel good about doing business with them. So just ask people in your area or just Google, hey, closing attorneys in my area or title companies in my area. And then just call them up and just be like, hey, do y'all work with wholesalers? I got a property I need to close, and see what they say. If they're responding and they're getting back with you and stuff like that, those are the people you want to deal with. If you're calling them and they ain't picking up the phone, you're emailing them, they ain't emailing you back, that's a bad sign, and you probably don't want to deal with those people. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Sorry, video probably a little long, but yeah, that's the step-by-step guide. Like I said, I'll put below this step-by-step guide in writing, and that's what I got for y'all. I'll try to keep the videos coming. And if you need anything, just hit me up on IG, REI, next door. Comment below. Just shoot me a message. Yeah, y'all have a good one, man. Bye.